Hello Taurus, so I'm doing your weekly tarot for June the 4th to the 11th. I'm going to take a look at what is going on in your situation. We'll find out why it's happening, or we'll look at what's going on in your blind spot. We're going to figure out anything that is working for you at this time, and of course we're seeing how it is all likely going to play out. Okay, right, so you would have seen there that the monkey card wanted to come jumping out of your deck. It's quite appropriate actually. The monkey and humor, and it says cheeky, fun, and not taking things seriously. Okay, so this is literally exactly what it says on the packet. Embracing your I want to say your cheeky sense of humor this week, your sense of humor getting you through this week. It's very different from you know how some people can conceal their grief or their trauma through humor. This is different. Okay, it is quite nuanced basically. So you using your cheeky sense of humor to get you through any minor difficulties that crop up this week, and that really working in your favor. Now, this one also heavily implies that this is going to be one of those nicer weeks for you. You'll be very glad to hear. You know, where you can just take everything in your stride, okay? There's something very tactile about this energy, and it reminds me of someone who's very sort of dexterous. Okay, so maybe you are doing something creative with your hands this week. It's very possible. You know, creative and artistic as well. Mostly they're focusing on the humor and not taking everything seriously, being able to laugh at yourself, okay, being able to laugh with others. It's just that nice gentle, free energy, okay, with the monkey. Now, I don't know what this one is. Whatever this is, it is scattered energy, okay? So it's kind of like crossing your situation here. Water and emotion, feelings and sensitivity, okay? So, again, not concealing your feelings, because that would be in the reverse position, but coping. Okay, this is a coping mechanism this week. I'm going to find out more in just a minute. I just need to take a look at the strongest overall energy. Yeah, I was definitely getting that creative vibe that was coming through off of you guys. And at the bottom of the deck is spider and creativity. It was there the whole time, right? Art, expression, and problem solving. Okay. So in a group setting, for example, because we've got all three cards out now, in a group setting this week, you might find that everyone else around you is getting frustrated and stressed out, and you know that there's a lot of anxious people, right? That potentially is only going to make difficulties or problems worse, okay? And then you come in and you're like a breath of fresh air here, okay? And as soon as you're able to get others smiling, they will be able to problem solve, because they're no longer stressed, because they're no longer anxious, okay? So it's like you're helping to bring that kind of atmosphere to life. Do you know what I mean? With your humor and with this need to not get bogged down in the stress this week. Okay, right, let's see if we can dig a little deeper into this one for you, and then we'll take a look at the rest of your messages. So can you tell us more about this humor, emotion, and creativity, please? Oh, okay. All of these are scattered. The Four of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Interesting combination. there might well be something going on at home here, Taurus. Okay, the Four of Wands can absolutely indicate your lifestyle, where it is that you live. Okay, your safety zones. Okay, and for most people, their safety zone is going to be within their own home. Okay, it feels to me like there's something either not quite working correctly or suddenly breaks down here. But again, not a major disaster, okay? I don't want to scare anyone. It's not a major disaster. You know, the Knight of Swords energy is very similar to the Tower. But instead of it being like natural circumstances, this is actions done by another person, okay? Like a human hand involvement. That's the Knight of Swords, and it's come out off balance. So it feels to me like there's been a mistake here that's been made somewhere along the lines that will affect you, okay? But it's not going to affect you to the point of you being devastated. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, the plumber makes a mistake, right? And either the water is cut off entirely or the water starts pissing out everywhere, right? Or, you know, something similar to that, okay? I'm not saying that these things are exactly what's going to happen. I'm just trying to give an imagery to this message here. Like, this could manifest in a whole number of different ways, okay? For example, I had a laugh and a joke with the receptionist just today at the GP's office, because they handed me the wrong test and I didn't realize it, that they gave me the wrong test until I got all the way home again, and I opened up the test and I'm like, oh, okay, that looks different from the last one. This isn't going to work. I think they've given me the wrong one. So I had to go all the way back to the office and say, I'm really sorry, I think you gave me the wrong test, but I've already opened it, so now it's crap. Like, they have to chuck it because the package had been opened. But, you know, I just had a laugh and a joke with the receptionist, and no harm was done, okay? I mean, the only harm, if you will, that was done was I had to go back to the GP's office like twice in one day. Do you know what I mean? So no biggie, right? That's this energy here, Taurus. So again, you can use those as examples to try and, you know, figure out what this could be pertaining to specifically for you, right? So a minor mishap, but nothing disastrous long term, okay? I think Spirit is really wanting to emphasize on that, because it feels to me like Spirit's trying to draw your attention to it's no major disaster. Okay, it's no major deal, especially if you're already dealing with a lot of high stress situations already. You don't want another thing adding on to your pile, okay? So yeah, it's kind of is like prioritizing what you're going to allow to stress you out, what you're going to allow to worry you, and what you're just going to chuck in the fuck it bucket. Okay, this is the fuck it bucket energy. Like, really not worth your time getting stressed out about. Annoying, yes. Inconvenient, hell yeah. Devastating and life destroying, absolutely not. Okay, so yeah, that's why you got humor, creativity, emotion off balance, and then these energies also off balance. So basically, Taurus, it's Spirit's way of saying, listen, it'll all work out in the end. It absolutely will, okay? And in the meanwhile, try not to add to your stress levels, okay? Especially over things that, number one, are not of your doing, not of your making, and number two, things that are not going to be devastating, okay? Right, so Why is this happening? The buffalo and abundance. So this is catalytic energy. Generosity, supply, resources, and gifts. So to have gifts and generosity as a catalytic energy, I find that really, really interesting, okay? It's that positive outlook, right? Not toxic positivity, because that's something else entirely different. This is choosing to be grateful, you know, where possible, of course, and encouraging more abundance, encouraging more gifts, okay, because of that positive outlook. See, literally the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles, right? Why is this happening? Maybe you have been running on high levels of stress for too long. Maybe that might have become your default position. Do you know what I mean? So now you're at the stage where you're figuring out, okay, this thing over here, I do need to focus on. I do need, it is worrying and concerning, so I'm going to focus fire on that and get that sorted out. This other thing over here, it's not really within my control, so do you know what? I'm not going to allow that to screw up my day. Okay. Like literally, you've got better things to do with your time. That's literally what this energy is saying. So I don't know. I mean, it kind of feels a little bit like you're being reprogrammed, right? It sounds like a really strange thing to say, but it's like you are being reprogrammed because you cannot continue to run on high levels of stress indefinitely. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to give a lecture about all of the damage that that's going to do, right? You already know the kind of damage that that can do. So you're looking at your resources that you have very, very carefully. And I suspect that you're going to be looking at how you can increase upon what you already have without introducing even more stress. Okay, that's why that's a catalyst. Okay. Right, what's going on in your blind spot? The owl and seer. Omens, prophecy, dreams, and wisdom. So this is very much a combination of the High Priestess in traditional tarot with the Hermit. Okay, it's like a combination of both of those, which makes it very, very powerful, actually. Self-mastery. Okay, mastering of your own emotions, not allowing your emotions to rule over your decision making. That's wisdom. Wisdom is remembering lessons of the past, okay, and not unnecessarily repeating past lessons, things like that. Omens and prophecies, you know what those are all about, yeah? Your sixth sense, or your sixth senses, whichever ones they might be. Your ability to use your powers of foresight. Now, why is this in your blind spot, Taurus? Because something deep within your own psyche, within your own subconscious, has been... do I want to say... I don't really want to say the word triggered, but... I can't really find a better word for it at the moment, okay? And I'm not going to say awoken, right? Because like these parts of yourself was always awake. The major difference is now you're listening, okay? I would never describe Taurus individuals as being asleep and unaware, like ever, okay? There's always been like a quiet knowledge, right, that I found anyway within Tyrian individuals. It's like you guys know a fuckload more than what actually comes out of your mouth, right? You're like the silent observers. Do you know what I mean? Like that shady... the shady cloaked individual who would sit in the corner of pubs, right, has knowledge about everyone, yet speaks to no one and observes everything. right? For me, that's always been Taurus energy. It's that silent observer, right? That's this one here. So I feel that there's something about your own intuition that is being sparked. Yeah, I think sparked is a better word than triggered, because usually triggered's got a bit of a negative connotation to it, isn't it? But yeah, something about your own intuition is being sparked this week. Okay, the Four of Cups. Interesting. The Four of Cups can be like not really feeling it, right? A bit melancholy, a bit detached, right? Sometimes it can indicate feeling rejected, or a bit of like a pushback from someone else, feeling rejected by you. I mostly feel for your energy, Taurus, that this is you quietly, without any kind of drama, because again, you guys, you're earth signs, you don't do drama. You're quietly rejecting something. And to clarify that, you've got the Six of Swords that's coming out, and it's come out in a really weird position. There's a bit of a U-turn going on, right? Taurus, I feel that this is telling me that someone is potentially doing a U-turn back towards you, and you're not interested in communicating with them or dealing with them. Okay, you might have had dreams recently about this person making a return. Okay, it could also indicate, if it's not about a person, I mean, I feel for the vast majority of you guys that this is actually a person. For the rest of you, where you know that that doesn't sit well for you in your heart of hearts, then this is a situation from the past that you refuse point blank to repeat. Okay, it's like, oh, I've already been through this lesson. Oh, I already know what this is. There's no way in hell I'm going to repeat the same mistake again. Do you know what I mean? So again, just take it as it resonates. But there is something going on this week that is, for you, quite reminiscent of another situation that it got out of hand and it went really, really badly, right? You're taking full control this week before anything gets out of hand. That's the whole point here. Okay, right, so what it is that's working for you, it is the Lion and leadership. Again, like I've already mentioned about you taking the leadership role before I even saw that card. Okay, that's why you've got to feel out what's going on with the energy rather than just take the base meaning of a card and that's it, right? Anyone can take the base meaning of a card, but you've got to combine all of the cards with the energy that's actually going on. Okay, what's working for you is you advocating for yourself, you taking the leadership role, you taking control of this situation. Okay, it says direction, pride, and courage. Okay, can you tell us more? Thank you. Right, so this one here is ever so slightly off balance. The Nine of Swords, that is the card of stress and anxiety. That's the card of sleepless nights. Okay, I do like how that's come out off balance like that though. And I'll tell you for why. Because it means that you're stopping a situation, a bad situation, from getting any worse, right? You're stopping something in its tracks here because you can see it coming a mile off, okay? I love that one. And you've also got the Ten of Pentacles. That's come out in the upright position. The Ten of Pentacles is the epitome of success. Okay, yes, for some it can indicate a lot of finances. For some it can indicate selling land or selling a property or selling a high value item. right? Getting more than what you asked for this high value item. It's making a profit. If you're thinking in terms of like finances and career, this is the card of you've made a hell of a nice profit here, Taurus, right? For everyone where you know that that's not relevant for you this week, then this is all about creating and cultivating that close-knit community. This is getting people together. This is a strong family unit here. This is a lot of, how do I want to say this? A lot of success. But it's not the type of success that's just landed in your lap out of fresh air. It's the type of success that you have worked for, that you have earned. And the word success can mean lots of different things to everybody, okay? Because again, with it being the Ten of Pentacles, it's not just about wealth and financial security, although obviously, yes, it absolutely can be. But it's also about having that family, that home, that caring community, right? All of these things that the vast majority of people don't ever get to experience, okay? Recognizing your own privilege, okay? Whatever that might be, whatever that might be. The Ten of Pentacles is the card that indicates a lot of success and a lot more yet to come, okay? So you're growing upon your Ten of Pentacles, if you will. This can also indicate a lot of personal growth as well, okay? So that's what's working for you. You're actively building your Ten of Pentacles. And you're doing that very, very successfully. Okay. The fire and action for how this is likely going to play out. Ambition, opportunity, passion, and movement. Okay. So how this is likely going to play out, Taurus. I do see you being very, very busy this week, but busy in a good way, okay? Not the type of busy because I have to be, busy because I got deadlines to meet, busy because there are expectations on me. It's not that kind of busy. This is busy with a purpose, busy with ambition, busy because you want to be, busy because you know that it's going to take you to the next level, like you personally, okay? And again, with it being fire, that's a very creative energy, right? So you're likely going to be really focused on the actions that you can take, right? Not feeling resentful about it or anything like that, but feeling excited about it. You're genuinely feeling excited about getting something started, getting something off the ground here. And you're using that to fuel your own creativity. You're using, you know, because when someone desires to do something, you can bet your ass they are going to do it come what may, right? Because that desire is there, and that desire is fueling the ambition, right? I know a lot of people use the word ambition like it's a dirty, forbidden word or something. It's not a dirty word at all, right? You've got to have the drive and the passion and the ambition in order to succeed at anything, right? So with this one, Taurus, honestly, I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying whatever you set yourself out to achieve this week, you are absolutely going to achieve it, okay? Can you tell us more for Taurus, please? How this is likely going to play out. Interesting. Okay, the Two of Wands and the Devil. Wow. Where's that devil come from? I feel, actually, Taurus, that this devil, because it's with the Two of Wands, because it's with the Two of Wands, I feel like this is your hyper-focus. Because devil energy can also be an obsession as well. Okay. So there's something new that grabs your attention this week. You might start doing research into it, right? Being incredibly interested in it, wondering, how does that work? How can I do that? And then becoming hyper fixated on it to the point where it could basically be described as an obsession. But you know what, Taurus? I don't see anything wrong with that. I really don't. Sometimes we need to become hyper fixated on a thing because we want to learn everything about it, right? So imagine a new hobby, right? A new hobby sparks your interest. And you start watching videos on it, and you start reading up on it, and you start gathering information. And the more information you gather, and the more that you see, the more that you read, the more it fuels your interest, right? And then that can become an obsession, and it's like, yeah, I really need to do this thing. I feel that that's this devil energy. And again, purely because it's with action and Two of Wands. Do you know what I mean? If we weren't obsessed and hyper focused, I don't think it would ever get done. It sounds like a strange thing to say, because if you weren't hyper focused, how easily would you get distracted? Very, very easily. I feel that Spirit's saying here, Taurus, you cannot afford distractions this week. Okay. So when that thing sparks your interest, really lean into that, and lean into that heavy. Okay. Yeah. See, the Seven of Pentacles as your strongest overall message. A worthwhile investment. A very good investment. Something that might take a while for you to see the tangible results. But ultimately, if you start the work now, right, then you're shortening that gap between yourself and your Ten of Pentacles that you're currently trying to create. Okay? The sooner you plant that tree, the sooner it can take root, and then it can start to bloom and then produce the fruit. Okay? We're starting off this reading with that metaphorical tree has not yet been planted, but you're doing it this week. Okay? Interesting. Right, so let's take a look at a healing message for you. Can we have healing and guidance for Taurus, please? Okay. Courage. So this one's connected to red jasper. Right, what's this one? Number 34. Let's have a look. Right, so courage and red jasper. Here we go, Taurus. It says courage, insight, and detoxification. You can also use selenite or quartz as well. And it says red jasper coupled with selenite is a very balanced combination, because red jasper is a stone that works on the base chakra, while selenite works on the higher chakras. This enables you to bring in the wisdom of the higher realms and ground it in the physical realm. Red jasper helps with insight, which is strengthened by the selenite to also receive information from spirit. Red jasper is known as a stone of courage, so it may just be time for you to stand up and be courageous. See how the selenite looks like a sword? Strength and valor are needed at this time. Ground yourself and ask for guidance from Spirit. Trust that the insight you receive is exactly what you need right now, and act with strength. Plant your feet firmly, strengthen your boundaries, and stand by your decision. Red jasper is also known as a powerful detoxifier and is said to work on the blood and the circulatory system. It may be time to discover deeper self-sabotage patterns that are holding you from standing in your own power. Remove the obstacles, go forth with a renewed sense of courage and trust in your ability to stand on your own. Know that every step of the way you will be protected by red jasper. Okay? And then it says strength and courage come from within, although sometimes working on the physical can instill this in us as well. Being a base chakra issue, this card asks for you to look at what food and nourishment you put into your body. Do you feel physically strong? If not, then it's time to nourish your body in order to nourish the soul. Your internal and external environments will always be a match because they're both manifestations of your energy. Become aware of the things that you put in your body that make you feel weak, such as sugar and alcohol, and call on Spirit to help you find your strength and courage, and work on your base chakra by using red stones or clothing, or meditating with this card. So you can always take a screenshot of that card if you do want to meditate on the image of it. You can also do a meditation in which you focus on your base chakra and ask it what it needs, okay? So your base chakra is connected to your survival instincts, okay? And how well you're grounded, how secure and safe you feel. It can be blocked by fear. Okay, so are there any fears going on here that are slowing you down or stopping you from you achieving your desires here? Okay, all those questions, of course, only you can answer for yourself. Okay, and these are the questions that you're needing to meditate over. All right, but yeah. That was your healing message. So we're going to take a look at some very cheeky words of wisdom from the Swear Tarot, just for a little bit of light-hearted fun. Okay, so don't take this deck seriously. It's just, you know, just a little bit of a giggle at the end of your reading. Okay, Taurus, laugh until you fart and happiness will follow. Okay? And see the bigger fucking picture before taking action. Yeah, that was in your blind spot there with the owl. You already do have very strong powers of foresight and intuition. Okay, definitely don't second guess your own intuition ever. All right, and you're going to receive a pleasant and unexpected fucking surprise. Lucky you. But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that that reading has been helpful. If it has been helpful for you, Taurus, then I definitely would appreciate a cheeky wee like on the video. That's going to help me out so much. And of course, when you do interact with the channel, then the YouTube algorithm's far more likely going to recommend my new videos to you, so you're less likely to miss out on my new uploads when you do interact with the channel. And yeah, thank you so very much to everyone who already has and does, of course. I genuinely do appreciate every single one of you. For personal readings with me, my website is phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. It's also on the screen below as well, along with Otter Spirit, who create these gorgeous gemstone bracelets. All of their information is also below. They've all got these cute little otter heads on them, or have I got that the wrong way around? There we go. So the otter symbols that you can see there is because they donate a portion of every bracelet sale to the wild otter charities. So yeah, it's all supporting a fantastic cause as well. But yeah, thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.